about that. Why must he now accuse APC for doing that? He also accused the PDP-led government of Obasanjo and Atiku ticket that they were the first who removed their Senate president, and not just that the speakers of the Federal House were intermittently removed within their government, but their government have not done that. So
because there is mutual corruption now, that's why nobody has been removed. Obasanjo, in fairness to him, demonstrated in real terms the fight against corruption, not paying lip service to it. I mean, the likes of the Senate presidents, they had factual materials to charge them, including the IG. But they were convicted.
His schoolmates.
How many convictions has APC secured?
Those who were convicted are already released as pardon, given state pardon.
I think nobody should take away the object of restructuring Nigeria from the PDP, even though it had not appeared or featured in their campaign document or manifesto. Let's call it spade a spade. It was under PDP that we had the National Convention. What was that all about? How to restructure, recalibrate, reposition, rejig, and rebrand Nigeria. Those were the things they put out there. The agreement is still there. So why hasn't the APC government
implemented that decision by Nigerians? Not by PDP, by Nigerians.
See, after 100 years, amalgamation happened in 1914. After 100 years in 2014, Nigerians for the first time came together to talk in what would have created an autonomous constitution, pro-people constitution. You see, the problem we have is, if you look at America's document, you see where is it? We. And the document was signed by certain persons. You understand? Washington, Jefferson, name them. Who signed the Nigerian constitution? It was just a debate committee, not even a drafting committee, a constitutional debate committee they had under Justice Nitobi of the blessed memory.
It was signed into law by Abdul Salami Abubakar, one individual.
Under the 11 months, within the 11
one individual
transition program, there was no need to begin to convene an assembly, because you should talk about constituent assembly, where people will come, the assembly to talk. There you generate a draft, you have a drafting committee, then you produce a constitution. It did not happen. So if you say PDP has not restructured Nigeria, I am not supporting PDP entirely. But what I'm saying is that APC still have something they inherited from PDP, with which they would have begun the calibration or the process of restructuring. Now they also set up a restructuring committee under Aero5, this same APC, the report of which is lying somewhere, gathering dust. Where is the report? They have come up to say they will remove subsidy. Where is the subsidy they are moving? So
sell off most of the aircraft in the presidential fleet.
Yes, and they
are getting
more. Let me put, Buhari said he will hand over some of the aircraft in the presidential fleet to Nigerian Airways. So where are they? They are still maintaining this.
If you hold him, you will say he wasn't the one that said it, it was his party.
As I speak to you now, they spent 3-point-something billion naira in the last budget for feeding and transport and maintenance of these aircraft. This budget of 2023 now they are proposing, they are spending 11.69 billion. More than 5 times, more than 3 times of that. So to me, I do not see the fairness in what Keyamo is saying. Yeah. But he has been defending even the indivisible. Even, you know, I'm sorry, we do respect to Bola Tinubu. He made a comment. I suppose he was trying to pronounce the word Bulabanyu. He stumbled on that word and started saying something like blah blah blah. Keyamo came out to release it.
Comrade, I agree with you on most things. You see that one? He was not trying to pronounce Ulabalu. I think NEPA took light. NEPA took light.
Came out that APC presidential candidate could not appear in a debate. He put up a release saying he was too busy with other engagements towards that. You see, I have been reading Keyamo and I feel disappointed because I was asking myself, was this the same Keyamo I saw in the early 2000s when I was looking for admission? I promised myself I would read law. Is this the same Keyamo? So politics, from the time they were talking about employment, when they were fighting with the National Assembly, each local government was to give about either 100 or 1,000 people to be recruited. It became a dog of war at the National Assembly. So Keyamo should, I think, begin to think Nigerian than that.
Keyamo is on the dining table.
Yes.
And good table manners take that. When you are eating, you don't talk. I don't know if you understand what I mean. Yes.
My position about
so,
Kayamo.
comrade, I hope you understand.
Yeah, my expression about Kayamo is just very simple. There are no jobs in the land to pick up. So he has one.
He's jobless.
So
he has two jobs.
He's a professional lawyer.
Minister and the spokesperson.
Yes, he's trying as much as possible to accumulate more because who knows tomorrow. Yeah, so you don't blame him. Don't blame him.
I am being
really
fair. He's my colleague, so
you have to protect
let
him.
me not be caustic.
Let me talk like Nigeria. The Kayamo, just like my brother here said, the Kayamo will know.
Yes.
You know, back in the days, 90s and late 90s and 2000, when Fawemi was, almost crossing over to the other side. Gani Fawemi of the blessed memory. Because some of us that followed him, even though my brain is blocked, but I was just trying to see how I can get some panel beating Monday Hammer to, unblock it to read law. Just because of Gani Fawemi. Loved him so much, himself and the father. When he kicked the bucket, I said, we've gotten a replacement in the place of Festus Kayamo. And today, I'm just seeing a photocopy. I'm highly disappointed in him. This man, the little I know about English language and the dictionary, I don't think we have two dictionaries. It is just one. And I don't think we have two English. It is just one. And Kayamo just sat on the national TV and told Nigerians that there are two different interpretations and meanings of forfeiture. That the meaning of forfeiture in the dictionary is different from
legal meaning.
Forfeiture in legal terms. So we have a lawyer here. So I went to my dictionary, turned it upside down, went from A to Z. I just got the same thing. So I'm here to get.
You didn't use the law dictionary.
Okay. The law dictionary.
You only use the dictionary of English language.
Law dictionary was
terminologies in law are written in Latin.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
the dictionary will give you legal meaning, context.
All right, gentlemen, we'll come back to that. Even if we fail today, we'll do that some other time. But let us look at this before we go on break. The terrorists that abducted 4 persons in Gesao local government area of Zamfara State have reduced their ransom from 10 million to 5 million naira, but insist it must come with the new redesigned naira notes.
Interesting.
Yes, I think that our good friend, the public relations officer of the bandits, has already given us a tip of the iceberg, and we know what to expect. Yes, you know him.
Yes.
So prior to now, he had said so. We are even lucky that they are saying it should come in the new currency, which maybe by 15th of next month we will begin to.
It's not by 15th.
Today.
The man is unveiling it today.
Yes.
Well,
is unveiling it today.
he will unveil it. You will not get it till about that 15th. I can assure you. So apparently, it's either the people negotiate and pay in dollar, or they wait till about the 15th, and then maybe from the 16th they will begin to. But what are we trying to say? That is the abysmal level to which the security of this nation has been reduced. Not like General Gowon said, the country has never had it so bad. Under this administration, once it has to do with, just wake up any day, go through the net, look at the dailies, you must see a minimum of 3 to 5 kidnap cases, or wanton assassination, killing here and there, beheading, pregnant women being macheted, disemboweled. And at the end of the day, they are reduced statistics. Yeah. No, it wasn't 20 people that was killed. It was actually 19. You people should be reporting correctly.
That's what we've been talking about. Even with the Freedom of Information Act, FOI, there is still, even yesterday, Minister Lai Mohammed was talking about fake news. You see, it does appear that there is a war against voice of reason or of dissent, trying to.
Tinubu has already told you.
Now, as we speak today,
the man who wants to be president say he doesn't read anything on social media. Meanwhile, how will he be informed?
In this studio now, the report of how the Kuje facility was attacked is out, but the government is still sitting on the report saying we are not going to disclose it for national interest. The same way the UAE, United Arab Emirates, communicated to Nigeria, sent a cable saying to Nigeria,
list of sponsors of terrorism.
Who are resident in our country, and who are wiring money back home for Boko Haram and the rest of them, who are giving them these watches. Now, see the name, pronounce the name. The name today is still with Attorney General. They said for national interest. So they do get that we are not approaching terror with much and adequate kinetic force. We've been dilly-dallying and we've been treating it with a kiss glove, and that's why you see it acquire new dimension. From now, before now, we only know of Boko Haram. Today, we have splinter cells like Anseru, we have the ISWAP, although they've been there, but they have become more calcified and more confident to launch attack against Nigeria State.
All right,
even kidnap people and ask government to pay money.
All right, before we go on break, Honorable, I want you to look at this. For these insistence, the villagers have done everything possible to raise this money, to rescue two women, one man, one woman, one man, and two children.
Yes.
You know, these people that we abducted. The villagers have done everything to raise this money, only to be told to wait. And the phone numbers with which they are making the calls are there. But the security is doing nothing about it.
Well, just like we've been saying here, everything has failed in this country. It has been turned into a business venture, particularly the security aspect of our national life. And you don't even blame the security men, because the soldiers and the policemen, I feel for them. Most times when I see these policemen on the road collecting, their stuff.
Roger.
Before now, I fight over it. I shout at them, but somebody who is out there and they can get out there and come back alive, and their family on their own, So the guys are being careful. If you are sent to go and rescue anybody or fight in any front, you be careful about what you are doing, where you are going, because guys around you may have sold you out. I have brothers in the military, and I know what they tell me. A situation where a policeman doesn't have a shield over his head, there is no welfare. You'll be posted from Benue to Aba. You are not sure of where to, lay a head that night. Get to CPS and see what is going on there. Some lie on the floor with their bags as their pillow, their uniform as their mattresses and all that. So, and such a person who doesn't have hope, who doesn't know what will happen the next day, if he dies, you are lost. Your family, if you have any place, you kept them in the barracks. By the time the guy is buried, and the little money is promised to be given to the family, the next day your wife and children are sent out of the barracks, and she will now be frequenting the station to ask for the monies promised, over the husband's death. And to get it, you know what will happen, particularly when she's a young woman. I wouldn't want to go there. So right, that is the kind of place we find ourselves. So these things will continue. In the case of church, some people are feeling probably doesn't concern me. They will speak grammar over it, like Muhammad and the rest of them, because they have men carrying gun around them, the security and all that. By the time they leave office, and 1-2 persons leave them, they go empty. Then, by the time it gets to their doorstep, their daughters and wives and brothers are kidnapped. Then they will now remember that, oh, this is exactly what people are saying all the while I was in the office. So we are really in trouble. Everything has failed.
All right, now, wonderful viewers, we don't want to believe that everything has failed. We know that God is somewhere and is going to do something for us. And council would say we didn't know whether God is still.
God doesn't know what men do.
Answering our prayers.
Everybody has a responsibility.
But I hope he's still there.
God does spiritual things.
Yes, and God is always there. No matter how hard it is, he's always there, because man's extremity is God's opportunity. On this note, we are going to go on a very short break, and we'll be back. Shortly, we'll be back. Keep watching Living TV, and don't go. When we come back, Nigeria Today continues. glad you're still there watching Living TV, and remember, still Nigeria Today, where you're listening to topical issues and also the way that they're printed upon. Our phone lines are now open. You can call us on 091 682 84994. I take it again. 091 682 84994. Call us, tell us where you're calling us from, and then make your suggestions. And if you want to ask questions, you can also ask. Our discussants today are very, very loaded. All right, away from that, Atiku and Wike visited IPB and Goodluck Jonathan recently, where the crisis rocking the party PDP was discussed. And the question becomes, though the outcome of the discussion, they have just given Nigerians hope that it will soon be reconciled. But since we have chieftains of PDP here, it is good we ask, are we sure that this crisis will be reconciled before 2023 general election? Let me start with you, Council Barrister.
Well, when you go into negotiations and you're asking for anything, or you rather want something out of any negotiation, a basic tactic for doing so is to push for the extreme. You don't just ask for that which you need. You must exhibit power. You must exhibit awesomeness. You must exhibit greatness and the ability to collect everything. That is normal. Each of the parties is at liberty to give that impression. But when the chiefs are now down, people will start making concessions and start yielding grounds. That is the beauty about negotiations, even in war. And so what the chieftains, some of the governors of PDP are doing is to press for the maximum. They cannot get everything that they need. The people on the other side are also retaining the maximum, but they can never hold on to that maximum forever. It's not possible. And so at the end of the day, concessions will be made, grounds will be yielded, and that is part of politics. That's why in politics you said that you do not have permanent enemies, but you have what? Permanent interest. And so when you have permanent interest, remember that some of the friends today were sworn enemies yesterday, and vice versa. People who labeled each other all kinds of names, they have somehow strangely found themselves in the same camp today. So it does not really mean much. I see what is playing out as something that would be settled. Governor Wike, if he does not make it painful for Atiku, he wouldn't persuade Atiku to come to the negotiation table. And so that's just what he's doing. Yes. He would give the impression that I will eat you raw, I will destroy you unless you come. And then Atiku on the other side would, I can do without you. But at the end of the day, they each need each other.
There'll be a level playing ground.
Definitely,
Honorable,
they must come together.
Honorable, I know you are also one of the founding members of the PDP, and but I'm sure you've told us in this place that as a staunch member of PDP, but you are obedient. Do you think what is happening between Wike and Atiku will make them sail through come 2023 general election?
Well, what Atiku has exhibited is what I can describe as I'll call it what is going on. I'll call it a divine arrangement, because they call the big man Atiku a unifier, and from day one he has shown that one bit he doesn't deserve to. He doesn't have that quality of being
a unifying quality.
Because if Atiku is a unifier, he could have started from day one, when it is obvious that every other region in this country has taken their shot at the presidency, except the Southeast. He couldn't have even contemplated contesting. If Atiku is a nationalist, he couldn't have contemplated contesting, not to talk of coming to throw money and dismember all the arrangements in the party. We are zoning in our party from the one. Is part of us, is our culture. So come to think of it, how come as the leader of the party today, you've shown us that if you become the president, you won't lead well also. Give a simple instruction. Let's go by the way of the constitution to have peace in this party. The most important thing here is power, the presidency. Are you National Working Committee, then end of this, go and meet and do the needful. Simple. And the man will leave. It boils down to what I've been saying here, because there are no jobs in the land. And the ones that have written vacancies.
So any person who has gotten any job will link onto it.
Is either you keep me here or you allow me to hold it. So Ayu has gotten one since 1993. He was sacked as Senate president. He has not held any other meaningful authoritative. That one is just. I'm talking about where you be hard and say. So that is why
the necessary.
That's the thing
that goes with it.
So the man also Atiku, because the devil is better than the angel is unknown. Somebody is accusing somebody of having collected 1 billion, and we know who is capable, who is fortified to bring out that kind of money, within PDP. All of us, know we are in a conflict.
Even the South Vice Chairman had to return his own money.
Yes, so let them go ahead and be quarreling, so that God will take us out of this whole mess.
I think I have a slightly contrary view to what Honorable say.
Okay.
Yes, if you say Atiku went against PDP's constitution in spirit and letter, yes, we may actually understand, but Muike was a person who began it.
It is not.
You see, I want to come to it. You see, the conversation was all about zoning, which is in the constitution of PDP. PDP inherited that zoning from Abacha's draft of 1995 constitution, which talked about zoning power to the geopolitical zones into which Nigeria will be divided. Now, in the PDP amendment, all the South, whether the South or the Southwest, they've had a shot at the presidency. So the idea muted was that the power should come to the Southeast. Governor Wike said it should be about competence.
And merit.
I
I'm
want
not
to be corrected if I'm wrong. So Atiku said if it's about competence and merit, I throw in my hat.
But if it's about zoning.
But if it's about zoning, I am not in. And that was what Mike wanted so much to hijack everything. I'm sorry, it is what it is. Even yesterday, he has said that Atiku, he made a startling revelation, which I want chroniclers and biographers to even begin to look at. He said he will not support Atiku until Ayu steps down, because Jonathan went to Dorchester Hotel in United Kingdom to plead with Atiku to support him in 2015. Atiku treated him less than a human, not even a president. Then he was a president. Atiku told Jonathan to his face to relinquish his mandate. You understand? So that asking for Ayu to step down is not much. But for me, fine and good. What I say this thing is that within the party, individual interests are conflicting. That's what is happening. Personal interests are not converging within the party. They are conflicting. So to that extent, we are going to have integrity governors and then G5 and what have you, and then the Atiku camp.
There is an argument I will raise here and we won't go here today. In the course of state creation, a lot of things took place where our brothers, the Igbos, we are kind of carved into areas. So let nobody. My mother is from Rivers State. Wike is an Igbo man, and
he did come at a point to say.
Let us go ahead. Okay, because of the region he is, the zone is coming from. But he's an Igbo man.
Yes, shed your thoughts, and there are too many more things to talk about. But for now, let us also let's come back to our state and look at the People's Democratic Party, Abia State. They've said that Governor Nyeso Wike, that is the River State Governor, and members of the G5,
the integrity group.
Yes, the integrity group.
Yes.
Will be officially coming for the flag off campaign of PDP in Abia State, tomorrow. Yes. That is being Thursday, the 24th day of this November. And I also, as we look into this matter, I'm starting with you, Council. I also want us to look into what Governor of Ebonyi State said when he came to River State in the flag of commissioning of one of the projects of Wike. He openly said that is joining the G5, that they should stop calling it G5 and make it G6 now.
And so it will be G7.
I'm making G6.
And these are people who were fighting before.
I think I started from there. That people who couldn't see eye to eye before, you would think that if you leave them in the same city, even that they will kill each other.
And finally, he said, one other thing he said, I also want us to take together, because this may be our last. We have so many things to talk about today, but maybe when we come back next time because of time. So finally, he said that he is also appealing to Wike to forget about his logistic support for Tinubu.
And give them votes.
and give them River State. And River State to APC. So that will make more meaning that they're not interested with Wike's logistics support that they have promised about 3 presidential candidates.
Well, you see that with River State being a treasure base of the nation, whosoever sits upon that 13% derivation alone
can do anything.
That's why Wike is exhibiting so much strength.
Do you know his
because
name?
at
POS.
I thought that POS is a P2B service. So he is also demonstrating at every point that he is a marketable bride, that he is not somebody to be toyed with, and that you really need him. He's not contesting for anything as a person. He's not. But every person contesting for anything is busy looking for him, both within his party and the opposition. And to make matters quite funny and interesting, he has remained very accommodating to everybody.
That's true.
Good. He is negotiating with, except the area that he will go to. It's like in a military balance, you give the impression that you are going left, and your enemy goes left to wait for you, but actually you want to attack from the right flank. That is actually what he is doing. So it still boils down to what I said about permanent interest. It's all about interest. How it is playing out, it's a matter of personal technique. Each person would adopt the technique he thinks would best yield the desired result. But at the end of the day, believe you me, that these strange bedfellows will reconcile. Let no person go and kill himself because of them. But that's a simple advice to everybody.
All right, and also let us also look at the G5 visiting Abia State for the flag off campaign of the state.
Oh, they'll be here.
Tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
Yes. In fact, I'm heading to Maya now to be part of the protocol committee. I'm going to be one of the anchor persons tomorrow. So I want to use this opportunity to welcome my maternal uncle, because he's doing well. Onyesom Wike. Live about, don't bother yourself about those words that we are chunked off and all that. Onyesom is a one Wike. So he's coming here tomorrow.
So you can vouch that Wike is actually an Igbo man.
Yeah, he is. Can't say how.
Just like you vouched yesterday.
Can't you see
I know my maternal relation. Yes.
So can't you see my dressing?
Yes.
I dress like a river.
And my old boy in high school. Yes.
So definitely we are going to be there tomorrow, and it's going to be carnival-like. And
are you campaigning now?
I'm just trying to
whether he will pay for
promise them a housing welcome. Tomorrow.
This is not a political.
But you asked him the question.
That's the
in
thing.
fairness to him,
just
you asked
trying
him.
to promise them a safe area. He has been safe. Our governor Okezie Bazu has tried as much as possible to make this place very safe for all of us. Even though we have some pockets of universities everywhere, but here has been very, very safe. The ease of doing business. The other day, Abba was rated as one of those who are not really poor. Abia, particularly, because of platforms.
Multi-dimensionally poor in Nigeria. That's what NBS
is. And Abia is not, but we are not in penury. We struggle.
We are doing better than many states.
Yeah, many.
I think even in open defecation,
we are growing.
There are states that are higher rate of open defecation.
Yes, even though we've not gotten it all right, but to an extent, things are improving. So tomorrow, it's a good thing to happen. The Integrity Group, where some of us are members, coming to Abia to flag off the PDP rally for 2023 elections. It's a good thing. So, what I want everybody to do is just like Council said here, don't die for any politician, including me. No matter how juicy the promise is, try as much as possible, because in 2023, it is no longer going to be business as usual. Those days of stuffing of ballot papers, carrying on this and the other one, getting boys, is no longer there. So it's going to be purely electronic. So, see you there tomorrow.
All right, comrades, before we go.
Okay, briefly. I think what is playing out in PDP, like Honorable said, maybe an act of God. Maybe an act of God or act of man. But the whole thing is that, to be honest, it's weakening PDP, because if you look at the optics from what is being gathered and what is being seen, which of the projects has Atiku Abubakar commissioned in Rivers State? That's to tell you that Wike himself also understands, and he has all the publicity, his band. Wike is in the news. Wike has become, like Council said, the beautiful bride. But the thing is that Rivers State may pull the shocker if this crisis is not resolved. Do you know why? Rivers State has become what the Americans call swing state.
Yes.
That can swing anyway.
3 million votes.
That can swing anyway. And this is a state.
And they are going to give block.
Since the creation of since the return to democracy in 1999, no one party has controlled both Rivers and Lagos State. And these are the richest two states in this country. It has been either AD or ACN and then PDP. But if care is not taken and they allow this problem to go unsettled, it will play into the hands. In fact, let me say it this way. Yes, we are happy that the governors are coming, the V5. But the person to hand over flag to any governorship aspirant should have been the presidential aspirant of that party.
Or the national chairman.
Yes, or the national chairman.
Who as things stand today cannot come to.
As we are seeing this dichotomy and this problem, it means the house is not in order for people. And
the quarrel is deep, very deep.
Yes, so they should look inward, if possible, bend over backward, do the necessary thing, do the arithmetic, and reconcile. If not, they will be suffering self-amputation and they will be limping to 2023.
All right, before we call it a quit, let us look at these few headlines. We are not going to deliberate on them today because of our time. We are going to leave it for tomorrow, and I'm sure tomorrow all roads will be leading to Umuahia to see the flag of campaign. And not just because we're a political party.
Okay.
The newest name is G6. But they've not given us a note to tell us whether they've allowed or accepted
we will confirm that tomorrow.
We will confirm it tomorrow. If it comes to Abia, that means it shall be G6 henceforth. We're going to talk about the headsman who invaded Enugu State yesterday, a particular village, a particular local government, killing about 10 and raising houses down, and nothing has happened today, just in Enugu yesterday. And then, but we are, because of time, we are not going to talk about that. We also know after 4 days, after about 4 days, of Nnamdi Kanu's demand for about 20 million from Malami. 20 billion from Malami. Today he's suing again for defamation, by his lawyer, Ejimako, has done that. And then we are waiting to see. This time he said defamation, for saying that he jumped bail. These are many more other things we would have looked into today, but because of our time, when we come back next time, we will continue from where we stopped. And having said this, from my far left is Comrade Nnamdi Elekwachi. Comrade, thank you for being part of this program.
It's my pleasure to be part of this program.
And Honorable Tony Abani.
Thank you for being a man of integrity.
A man of integrity.
Man of integrity. Yes.
Barrister Chukwuemeka Wog.
Thank you for having me today.
Right, viewers, this is your anchor man, Chinedum Adiele. Keep watching Living TV. We'll go back again tomorrow. And we'll also keep you posted with whatever happens in Omaya about the G5. If the G6 is finally accepted, we'll also let you know.
Or even 7.
Or even 7. We'll let you know when we come.
The umbrella is too wide.
Can accommodate.
All right, thank you for being there and keep watching Living TV. For me now, it's bye.